And we are live. Happy Monday, everybody. I don't know if I'm more excited that this is the final week of me doing my Facebook Live challenge or for my guest today, Mr. Casey, aka the Skid Daddy, taking time out of his busy day to talk to us about all things in life, business, and whatever else comes up. So I am extremely excited to get you on here today. And I know my audience is going to be, I've already had people asking about when you're coming. So Casey, welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's awesome.
It's a pleasure. I was excited to see you out at Sales Boost. I saw you out at PWMC in Orlando, and man, it's just been exciting watching your growth and everything that you're doing with you, your family, and now the company. So I'm going to let you open it up and just kind of speak about yourself, what you are doing. So for those in the audience who don't know what C3 is and who Casey is, why don't you let them know?
Yeah, so C3 was launched January of 2022, and the last 6 months of 2021, we were in R&D for every day for 6 months before I released this, and people knew that we were up to something. We started to sell a little bit of equipment here and there, but I was really waiting on the skid. We had to make it perfect. And there's only a few tweaks we've made since we launched, last year, just to better the equipment, better the skid. And man, when it launched January 2022, I was like, man, we'll just sell a couple skids. We'll sell one, maybe two a month. Like we'll use the shop space we already have. We have like 2,000-3,000 square feet. We'll use that. No big deal. I enjoy building it. Like that's my whole background's been race cars and building trucks. And like, I'm talking like $150,000 SEMA trucks, you name it. That's what I was known for before soft washing. So I already had a niche. I knew how to use the tools. I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, let's build a couple. All of a sudden we hit like March, April, May, and we're moving into a bigger space. We're hiring 2-3 more guys. And I have no clue because like JC, running a home service business, the biggest problem I had was home service company. Like my home service company, we have over 30 employees, 24 trucks. We're getting that $5,000 to $10,000 a day in deposits. Where C3 isn't like that. If I sell a skid on a Monday, I might not get any more deposits for a week or two.
Yeah.
Managing that money has been the most difficult part of this journey that I've had to go through as now being, a manufacturer.
Yeah.
So I had to really sit back and try to figure out how to really budget, because budgeting is not my thing. I see the cash flow and I'm like, let's do it. Let's go buy another truck.
Yep.
Let's go buy a four-wheeler. Let's go build a house. Let's go do this. So it's been really, it's been a difficult challenge. Some people don't know that and don't see that, but just because you're successful in one industry doesn't mean you're going to be successful in another. It's just the mindset you have to let yourself know that you don't have a choice but to succeed.
Yeah.
So when Casey usually thinks big, and I don't, and failure is usually not an option for me. So toning it back and trying to realize how to budget and manage our money properly, that took a good 6 months. Another big thing is, the equipment that we need to build these skids is 6 figures. Compared to, you want to go buy a pressure washing skid for $25K, throw it in your truck, you're going to go make $30-40K a month, right?
Yep.
That's not the case with us. So we're spending a lot more money. So the journey that we've been on, though, to now outgrow a 4,000 square foot shop, and now we're into an 8,000, and we have like 12,000 square feet total between my home service company and C3, all in the same complex now, which is nice. So right now I'm in C3 HQ. So this is the headquarters office. This is where we're going to be selling a lot of our apparel and our boots. Our boots are supposed to literally be dropped off by a semi truck today.
Nice.
So yeah, so we got like 2,000 pairs of boots coming.
Wow.
So we're going to set this shop up for mostly shipping and receiving. So a lot of cool things. Just, how a lot of us just like to piss on everything, right? We want to put our brand on everything, keychains, hats, boots, energy drinks, anything and everything. The wheels on my truck. So
I'm huge on branding, so I get it, man. I've got shirts, hats. I mean, I've had you name it. We're trying to put our logo on it, so it's just it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It is fun, and it's a good talking point. And people are like, "You sell boots? You have energy drinks? Like, what do you not do?"
Yeah, exactly.
We're just a one-stop shop.
That was going to be my original question, was just to say to you, like, let's just focus on what you're not doing and how we can get there.
Yeah, right. Well, I could tell you, I tried garage floor coatings last year, and I was trying to launch that and C3 at the same time. And I had to make a tough decision on whether I was going to step back from C3 and put more time into coatings, or if I was going to let go of coatings and go to C3 full time. And I followed my heart. I sold the company. I sold all the rights, and I sold the company name to somebody, and I sold all the equipment to somebody else. And it was by far the best decision I've made. Allowed, to put 90% of my time into C3 now. So very fortunate with that. Obviously didn't take off and didn't have success with it, but it's a good choice that I made to let it go. So
yeah, as entrepreneurs, we want to do everything, and we feel that we can just take on all these different tasks at one time. But it gets to that point where, like, wait a second, if I'm doing, 60% here, something's got to suffer, but I really need to be focused on this one. So yeah, let me just cut my losses on this side to really put all my time and energy the other one. So you made a good decision, and obviously it's paying off.
Yeah, for sure. And some people are going to compare to it as failing or giving up. And I do not think that way at all. When people ask me, "Oh, you lost your ass on that, I bet, didn't you?" It's like, yeah, I did lose my ass, but I learned my lesson, and I tried. I gave it a shot, and I tried it. So at least I'm going to sleep at night knowing that I gave it a shot and I tried. And I mean, I think we could all agree that money doesn't make the world go around. Mm-hmm. So if I lost 50K, then I lost 50K. I'm still going to go to sleep and wake up, and I'm still going to have my family with me. I'm still going to have all my other employees, all 30 something of them. So if anybody thinks it's a failure to let something go, to focus on something else, then they're wrong.
No, you would have failed had you kept trying to keep both of them going. And then you would, both of them would have sacrificed. So by recognizing that you needed to let one go,
correct.
That's huge. I mean, that's a lot of courage in that, saying, like, look, I can't do both. I'm cutting this one short because I care about this one more, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if anybody says that's a failure, well, their mindset's wrong.
Yeah.
And they obviously haven't had that experience or the opportunity to be put in that situation. So, oh, well. Yeah. So I was just listening to David Goggins yesterday, and I got to find the actual quote. I mean, he talked exactly about that, is being able to recognize something early to let it go rather than waiting to the very end. That's when you're failing.
Yeah. Correct. So, yeah. Can't go wrong with David Goggins, man.
No, that's what I've been running with the last couple of weeks, man. This is the third time I've listened to the new book, the podcast, and it just gets me going.
Yep. Heck
you still running?
I haven't ran in like 3 weeks, man. And I'll tell you what, I have it's an excuse, but it's not a good excuse. But I have back problems, and I've had, like, I was born with spina bifida. So I was born with like a hole in my back.
Wow.
And from the second I was born, my mom didn't even get to see me. Like, I was rushed into a helicopter and rushed to another hospital to go into surgery. And like 97% of everybody that has spina bifida isn't even able to walk.
Wow.
So they're usually paralyzed. So I have back problems whenever I start working too much. And I helped the guys move the shop last week and the week before that. And it's just, my back is hurting right now. So it's best if I don't run right now. So
It's probably best if you don't move anything and just let your guys
right,
do it for
exactly. Yeah. But I hate standing there and watching people, and I like to get in there. I like to help the guys when I can. And I enjoy it though too. So, even if they need something welded up or cut or anything moved, whatever it is, I'm gonna jump in there and help them when I can. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I enjoy running though. So it's not that I'm giving up. I just need to get my back straight, probably another 2 weeks or so, and I'll probably be back there running again.
Good, man. Good. We'll be waiting for you at the next show.
Yeah.
Casey, how tall are you?
6'5".
6'5". So for those that you don't know Casey, I mean, he's just this gentle giant, like one of the most humble gentlemen that I've ever met. And anytime I've spoken to you, just very well spoken. And it's just a joy to be able to speak to you and hear about what you're doing. And you're just so approachable. And I love it about you, because some people might be intimidated by your stature and what you're doing and the success you've had. But I tell you, man, I'm glad that I've had the opportunities to speak to you the last couple of times at the shows, and you're just doing incredible things. And let's talk real quick about what you're doing with your son and the candy machine, because I love the kid entrepreneur thing. Like, you really inspired me to want to do more with my daughter. And because of what you did with that, Annika started Jace's Colas, and she's selling drinks. But let's talk about yours first, and we'll get into that.
Yeah. So 2 years, it was just over 2 years ago now. My son's 8 years old now, so he was 6, and trying to understand the value of a dollar is hard coming from my son, because Casey's like, all out. Casey wants to do things big. Casey wants to go get the big truck, the big wheels, the spinners on the wheel, like floating hubcaps. Like, everything I do is big. And my son doesn't see the hard stuff we go through as entrepreneurs. He sees all the highs. He's the one experiencing all the highs with us. The flying across the country. We're going to Disney. We're going on vacations. Like, we'd go on 8 vacations a year before COVID. So all he sees is the big success. So for him to be able to value a dollar was very hard for him. He just thought it was easy, like just go pluck it off a tree, right? So I'm like, man, we got to cut this out. We got to figure out how to make him appreciate a dollar. So we started the candy business. I put about $2,300 in, and I bought 10 candy machines. I paid my boy Adam, and he made him his logo. Just looks just like him. And we made a budget sheet, and we labeled all of them 1 through 10. We know where all 10 of the machines are. We go together. He has to take all the quarters out. He restocks the machines, and I make him roll the quarters. He does not use a machine at Publix or Walmart where you could just go in there and it takes 5%.
Yep.
No, that kid sits at the dining room table and he rolls his quarters into $10 bands, and we go to the bank and we turn it into dollars. And it really wasn't until about a year ago, he was at school and he actually broke this other girl's toy, and it was like $35 or something. And he was like, man, I'm gonna go. He's thinking like, my dad will just get a new one, no big deal. So I took his money bag, and he's got, probably $2,500 in his money bag right now.
Nice.
I made him take $40 out, and we went to the store, and he had to buy the replacement. And it wasn't until then when he realized, I told him, I said, how many gumballs did that just cost you? It's like, what, like 100 and 200 gumballs it just cost you? Like, that's 2 weeks worth of work you just wasted. And at that point, he knew, like, oh crap, like that took 2 weeks worth of work because that one little mistake.
Yep.
So now he values his dollar a lot more. It's a good lesson. So he has to call into the company to order all the candy. And one thing that he doesn't know is if we order about $200 worth of candy at one time, we use my credit card to order it because he's cash only. And he
He
gives me
doesn't have the platinum card yet?
he
He
gives me
doesn't have the platinum card yet?
no, not yet. Not yet. We're working on it. So the biggest thing that he doesn't know is, so he gives me the $200, the $200, every dollar that he's given me, I've put back into another money bag in the safe. So he thinks he's spending his money on it, teaching him a lesson. He has no clue now. So in 5 years from now, he might have another $10,000-$15,000 sitting there.
I love it.
But to me, the $200 a month or whatever it is worth everything else that we're going through. And to see him value that he actually has to give me money, that it takes money to make money, is pretty priceless. So for him, he's going to make about probably $7,000 to $8,000, maybe $9,000 a year selling out of these candy machines. And
for an 8-year-old, that's incredible.
For an 8-year-old. Yeah. And we're hiring, I got Jason Evers is going to do some one-on-one coaching with them and go over P&Ls and budgets.
That's so cool, man. What a great coach.
Yeah. So we had to go through this questionnaire of what his company's like and stuff. And what was really cool to see was, I had to tell him, we had to go back and forth between, if it was daddy's company, what would daddy answer? And then now it's your turn. What would you answer? My company will run itself without me. His company will do the same thing, selling candy. As an 8-year-old, he has a turnkey, successful company that does not need him every day to make money.
That's incredible.
That was a real big eye opener for me. And to tell him, it's like, dude, you're making money while you're at school and you don't have to do anything. It doesn't cost you any money to have your candy machines anywhere. All these people are generous enough to let you have them in there. And every time we go in there, it's thank you so much for letting us have our candy. Is there anything else we could do for you? We post pictures as much as we can, try to, promote their businesses, but definitely teaching my son the value of $1 was definitely the biggest advantage of him owning a business.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And I love the kid entrepreneurial journey. And I think it's so important as entrepreneurs that we do get our kids involved. And, I had that fine line a while ago, getting them involved and forcing them. And then once I stepped away from forcing them, then they started wanting to do more. Even the other day, Nixie's like, Dad, I need money. Can I come to the office and work? Because she understood, I'm not just going to hand her over money. And it took her to actually do some physical manual labor to get that money. And because of what you did with your son, I started Annika on her journey with the Coke drinks. And now she sells Cokes, Bangs, and some other drinks at the shop. She got a little change jar up top or a Venmo that has the money going to it. She has no access to the Venmo. That Venmo is kind of like yours. That's going to be just saved until one day I'm like, here you go. Here's all this money that's been hidden from you that you didn't know about it. That we can use later, but I need to start getting more into the P&L stuff and things like that because that's so important.
Yeah.
So if you have some kids, I highly encourage you to get them involved. I take my daughters to the bank and they fill out their own bank slips and their own deposits. And the bank lady's just nobody does this anymore. And I just remember doing that when I was a kid with my dad. We used to go every single Friday to the bank and deposit $5 or $10. And it's just little things like that we should be doing better as a whole to set our kids up for success in the future. So they're not relying on us. They're not relying on, getting that 9 to 5. They can make those decisions to go out and take care of themselves. So good on you, man. And way to be the example.
For sure. It's difficult and it's different in today's age and today's economy. And, I'm 29 years old. I wasn't raised, the way that some kids are now. We didn't have iPhones and tablets and stuff. The coolest thing I had was a Nextel push to talk that I can only walk and talkie like my dad and my mom when I was in 5th grade. I was the shit, So it's definitely been a good journey, and I was raised about the same way. My dad was a successful business owner, and we got to do everything we wanted to do for the most part. And but when I got into high school, he made me value $1 a lot more than before. So that really set me up for success after going into high school and stuff. So I had to really work for it. I worked summers, nothing was given to me at that point, So it's to start young though, as a 6-year-old business owner, trying to understand a P&L, which he really can't understand it yet as 8, but a balance sheet, and to show how much money each candy machine produces and how much money it costs him per gumball, per Skittle, every click, every spin of a Skittles, how much it cost him. For him to at least understand those dollars is a huge stepping stone.
Absolutely.
So
tremendous. Jim says make sure he checks his 2019 and 2020.
Yeah.
Guess they're worth a little bit extra. Trevor, he's
yep.
Yeah, so if you got kids, get them involved. It's it's important. And again, they may not appreciate it now, but as they grow older and they understand the dollar more. Like the other day, we're out at the local beer garden and driving range over here, and I couldn't find Nixie. Well, she went and took her own money and bought golf balls and was just hitting golf balls on her own. I was like, this is awesome. Like, she didn't come asking me for money. She just handled it on her own. So that was cool. All right. So are you a visionary or integrator? I think I know the answer, but.
Oh gosh. What do you think?
I mean, I think you're a visionary.
Yeah.
You just like the way you just keep going and growing and growing, and like the stuff you come out with is fun, but.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely. C3 took off like in the last 6 months. A lot of people are about to laugh at what I'm about to say, and that's okay. And you can laugh all you want, but over the last 5-6 years of me being in the power washing and soft washing industry, AC Lockyer has been a huge success to my journey. And it's crazy. Everybody's going to sit here and laugh and, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. It's his biggest competitor. They have beef, blah, blah, blah. I don't have beef with AC. The way that he structured his company now is going to make me rich, because all those people that are not signing his contracts, they're going to be coming to me. Why? Because we're the turnkey company for equipment, chemicals, support. Our support was going to blow anybody else's out of the water across the board. I don't care who you are. Nobody else is offering 24/7 tech support. Nobody offers the support that we do before and after buying the equipment. Our training is top notch. Thanks to Adam for helping us with that. Our training is incredible. So we have guys that have been in the business or new to the business that are coming in and doing their training with their equipment. Or if they haven't bought equipment yet, we have equipment that they get to train on. So we teach them a lot of new things, a lot of great, all the rules of the road and DOT laws, and how to train employees, how to look for the right employees, chemicals, equipment, techniques, everything. So, when they leave C3 HQ and Wash League at the end of the 3 days, like, they're mind blown with what we taught them. And, anybody can build equipment, right? Anybody can buy pressure washers and banjo fittings and tanks and bolt together all their own stuff. We're just good at making it look great, operate, and, help the guys that don't have the time to do it. So some of those guys still need the training, though. They need the support. They need the chemicals. That's cool. We're here for you. So being able to divert in different parts of the industry has been nice, but I am not able to do it without help from other people. So, I'm a little bit of a fabricator. I'm not a huge fabricator. I can weld, I could bend, I could do that stuff, but I leave that to my guys. Yeah. I tell them and I draw out what I want, and they build it for me. Same thing with Adam. Whenever he's, helping us with the training classes, I kind of tell him what I want and what I don't want in it. And he goes through and does it. And I come back, circle through it, go back through it. And, it allows me to have a small piece of me in everything that we touch, but I'm also bringing other people in and making them feel more important. and making their roles larger in the company. So it's nice to be able to see that my employees, and I hate even calling them employees, I usually call them team members.
Yeah,
So
same way.
it's so nice to see my team members love coming to work. And whenever they nail something on the head and they're like, oh, Casey's going to love this. And I'm like, wow, like, great job. And I tell them that, it makes them just love coming to work so much more. So
yeah, you empower them. You're giving them, they're building trust themselves, and then they want to come in with these great ideas too. So that's really important that you're affording them the opportunity to be able to present them to you, instead of like, nope, this is the Casey show. It's my way or the highway. No, come on, show me.
Which is how some competitors have structured their business. It's my way or the highway. I'm going to listen to you, whether I like it or not. I'm at least going to listen to you. And I might tell you like, nah, like some guys want me to stop putting bulkheads in the tanks because, it's one more failure point. As a manufacturer, I got to put a bulkhead in there. It's the right thing to do. It's going to fail, but so is a 12-volt pump. A hose clamp's going to come loose. Things are going to happen that, some of us just can't avoid. So, I'm going to listen to you guys though. I listen to everybody. If they have something that they think is going to work better, I'm going to listen to it and I might try it. And there's a dozen things on our equipment that have been from other end users telling us to improve, and we've done it. So yeah, that's a big thing about C3 and my vision is, listening to the end users. So it's not all about Casey.
Yeah, no, it's important. Real quick, because we talked about it down at Sales Boost. Tell everybody about, is it Wash League you said?
Yeah, Wash League.
Yeah, just tell them about that, because I saw Adam teaching the class the other day, and I saw the really awesome picture you guys had on the wall, the dry erase. That looked amazing. So if you want to just give a quick, talk about that.
So, the classroom, we have two of those whiteboards. We have a residential one and then we have a commercial one. Problem is I made these whiteboards so big that they're 4x8 and they wouldn't fit in the classroom. And then, we're like, hey, let's start with one class a month. Well, now we went to 2 classes a month because the classroom's too small and we can only fit like 4 people in there comfortably. And we're like out selling the classes. So we're like, holy crap. Like now with this move, we got to build a bigger classroom. So now we could put both whiteboards on the wall and we can show you guys how to park your truck, where to set your cones up, where to set your A-frame signs up at, where to pull the hose first. Like before you even go out in the field, we're going to teach you everything you pretty much need to know and how you need to pull your hose and everything before we even get to a job. So Wash League, like I mentioned, whether you've been in the business or not been in the business and just starting out, you're going to learn something new.
Yeah.
And it might not be something that you want to do or how you want to do it, but at least you get to see another person's view of how we do it and how we can approach a job and how we get the job done quicker or easier, more efficient with 2 guys on a truck. If you only have 1 man on a truck, we go over how to properly pull your hoses and what to do and what not to do with only 1 person on a truck. So, Wash League has really opened the door a lot for us, and we didn't think it would be as big as it's starting to become. But to be able to, have 2 classes a month now with 4 guys, so training 8 guys a month, like that's a huge accomplishment for us, especially after what we had no clue. It's just like the skids. Like we had no clue we would sell 80 skids last year.
Wow.
So yeah, so to be able to see that dream come alive and having great people like Adam and his wife helping us out has been a huge help and huge success. So anything exterior cleaning, soft washing, pressure washing, window cleaning, we go over a little bit of disc assessment in there. But team management, how to hire, how to fire, how to approach a job, a little bit of marketing. We're not going to sit here and sell you marketing tools because we're not marketing guys. We know how to clean the property. We know how to set you up. But there's some things that we just will not sell you guys on just so takes less blame off of us.
Right. Yeah.
So, everything else. So, I mean, we set you up. We could help you with branding. I've decided to actually purchase brand new F-350s, obviously I'm not going out there and paying cash for them. I'm putting them on a forward credit line. I'm ordering them in, and we're selling them though as quick as they're coming in.
I believe that.
Most of these are getting sold, and we're able to get, we've had three of them now where they come in, and we got one financing company or two, depends on how your credit is. It's turnkey. Whether you need branding or you just need it wrapped, but we'll do truck wrap, branding, chemicals, the backseat organizer. If you guys haven't seen our badass aluminum backseat organizer with the milk crates in it, it's insane. It's awesome. It's a system. But I mean, we deck that thing out. I mean, we'll put running boards, Line X, airbags if you need it, whatever you guys need. Like, we're the one-stop shop other than marketing. So
yeah, the truck you had down in Florida, Orlando. What was it, Allen's or
Brian's with a clean street?
Yeah. Man, that thing was incredible. Like, just every single aspect, walking around that thing is like, it's like, oh my God, that's something I would have loved to have done, or something I thought about, never did it. And you had everything on there, and it's just a lot of attention to detail and very user friendly on everything you have. So
easy to maintenance. Easy to maintenance is our biggest thing. We want to be able to service that thing. And, I'm a big racer, so I always compare. It's like our 12-volt fusion systems. It takes you just as quick as a NASCAR pit stop to change a 12-volt pump. And for me, it does, but I've done it 100 times.
Yeah.
But if you got somebody that knows what they're doing, I mean, it's plug and play, quick connects, boom, boom, boom. Like, it shouldn't take you more than a minute.
Yeah.
So
time is money, and efficiency is key.
Right. So in order to change out a pump on the fly like that is really nice. You're not having to get up on your equipment and climb through it and take nuts and bolts. And like, you don't need wrenches. You don't need a screwdriver. You don't need wrenches. You don't need anything besides your two hands to change this pump out. So efficiency is huge. So yeah, we love how simple we're making everything, and less leak points, and still operating great. So yeah.
Awesome, man. So if we sit down and talk next year, this time, what's the vision for C3 and everything you're doing?
As of right now, I just posted on Facebook yesterday, actually. I ordered a press brake and a shear in November. It's finally going to be here in June. So, and we're able to build the skids in-house now, as of June. Along with we bought a CNC plasma table last week. That'll be here in 2 to 4 weeks. So C3 I have other visions for C3 other than skids, but skids is also like, I'm skid daddy. Like, kids are not going anywhere. It's just C3. I want to be able to grow it to a $8 to $10 million a year company. I simply can't do that just building skids. So C3 skids we're focused. I have the team in place to take C3 to the next level. We don't want to get production too ahead of ourselves though, and oversell, because that's whenever the product starts to get iffy, right? With the quality control. So, 100 to 120 skids a year, I would say, is where we're going to end up. Selling products, selling replacement parts, chemicals, everything that the end users need without having to keep them locked into C3, and making them be part of this program, whatever you want to call it. We just want to be there to support everybody and help them. My vision in life is, I want to help people succeed, and I want to make people entrepreneurs. That's my thing. Like, I want to make people succeed. I want to watch them. I want to be a small part of it. And as long as I can do that and be happy, whether it's 100 skids or it's 50 skids a year, I don't care what it is. I'm going to be happy regardless, as long as the quality of our product stays the same.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah. I think you're going to see C3 coming out with a lot of different pieces to the puzzle. We're dabbling into pest control, mobile detailing equipment as well. So, there's other avenues along the commercial spray equipment side too that we're going to dabble into, but yeah, C3 Skids it's on a good path, and I got a lot of great team members that are helping me make the right decision quickly, other than, beelining and taking the wrong, and going free. A lot of people are asking me to franchise. Like, we don't want to franchise. It's not what we want to do. It's not my vision. It hasn't ever been my vision. I don't want that. So trying to stay on track with the same vision, but growing at the pace we are has been difficult.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you said, the big thing you keep bringing up is the quality.
Yeah.
Keeping everybody. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what the next year and 5 years and 10 years is going to look like. But I mean, C3 is here to prove a point. And I mean, you guys will see that whenever we go to Nashville to the huge convention, our booth last year, we went there to
huge. You had the huge booth at the huge.
Yeah. Did you see this year's yet?
No.
We have 2 of those. We have 2 of them on both sides of because it's a lot bigger this coming year. So we bought 2 big ass booths now. So we're going to have one booth for some stuff and one booth for some other stuff. So you guys will get to see that. But I mean, even at PWMCA, you got to see, like, we took over the whole corner. Like, I was like, nah, I want the whole side. Like, Casey doesn't do 10 by 10s. Like, no, Casey wants as much as you're going to give him. So, I go big, but I'm there to prove a point, and Pat, let's go. Looking forward to my Skids. Yes, sir.
Pat's ready.
Yeah, putting out quality equipment and great support. I don't think you're going to find anybody out there that says Casey's left me hanging. We've had problems, and I've flown across the country to fix problems that we honestly messed up on. So integrity.
That's incredible, man. It is. You can't get that back once you lose it. So
exactly. So,
well, yeah. Casey, I appreciate you, man.
Man.
We didn't plan to dress the same, but I will say you got best dressed today. I like to end with a question that has nothing to do with business and just kind of get your thought on this. But if you could travel to any era in time, which one would it be?
Wow. I'd probably, oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I would say, I'd probably say like the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to party it up a little bit, I think.
That's like 40 years before you were born, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm a 93 baby. So I already lived through the 90s. I lived through the 90s. So with the Nextel push to talk. So I want to see what life was before the Nextel push to talk. I want to see the big poofy hair and the long pants and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Different eras there. If I was gonna go, I don't know why I'm like real stuck on the medieval time right now.
Really?
Oh yeah, I kind of want to go like that
way back,
or the Renaissance. Yeah, like just get rid of everything we know of and just like completely like just on our own.
That's way back. I one thing I really think a lot about is think about time before cell phones. Mm-hmm. And like a husband and wife, like they leave the house in the morning to go to work. Like they kiss each other, say I love you, and bye, and they don't talk to each other until 5, 6 o'clock.
Yep.
When they get back from work. So it's like I'm thankful. Like my wife just started working with me at C3 actually, and it's been a huge stress relief. So I get to communicate with her daily. But even before that, we're always on the phone. But to think that people ran businesses without social media and cell phones back then, it's insane. I would love to experience even that part of life.
Yeah, the learning curve was just absolutely different back then. That's why, you mentioned cell phones and everything. Like I don't do a good job of this, but I try and be intentional, like for birthdays and stuff like that, like just to get on the phone and call somebody because it's always just a text or like a like on a post now. but it means so much more just to get on the phone and just say, hey, how are you doing? Happy birthday, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing it, just make it a point. Just call somebody.
Sure.
Like I started doing video messages now. I learned this from somebody in Apex, Drewby. He sent me a message with just like 20-second video saying, hey, what's up? If there's anything you need, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, sweet, that's awesome. So the other day, I just like everybody that's on the birthday list, I sent them birthday messages. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
You might get one. I'll get you one.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, guys. Casey, thank you so much, man. I'm so excited for you, what you're doing with C3. I look forward to the future of growth. And I think the next time I do see you, will be at the Huge. So we will see you. And
be ready.
Be doing some
ready to party.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right.